All right, hello boys and girls, this is JC with Stasis Reviews. Now today, I'll bring you, I think, one of the hottest yo-yos nowadays. It's because it's the signature model, the newest signature bimetal model of the most recent Japanese national champion. This contest just happened a week ago, approximately. Shion Araya. Now, this yo-yo, well, I'll start with my first criticism of C3 yo-yos, because nowadays the names are getting weird and like unnecessarily difficult to pronounce. And this one is called the Socius. Socius, yes. Yeah, whatever. So Socius. Now, this is kind of a big deal, first of all, because it's the signature model of one of the best players out there nowadays, the best 1A player. But also because Shion Araya is one of the only top players that doesn't have a bimetal signature yo-yo, as far as I know. And he's always stated that he prefers the feel of a mono-metal. But now, finally, they have a bimetal. Whether it's because Shion has changed in his preferences, or because C3 decided to finally milk the cow when it comes to the market, while Shion is still the hottest player. I don't know, but either way, Shion used this yo-yo during most of his recent competitions, and he did super well, so I have no reason to doubt that this is his weapon of choice, at least in the near future. And anyways, this is kind of, people consider this to be the bimetal radius, but if you take a look at the radius, I don't think they're that similar. And actually, the radius, I've always found it to be kind of strange, especially for the signature model of a world champion. It's kind of tall, it's not the widest, right? It's actually quite narrow by today's standards. And I don't know, I'm sure Shion knows better than me, but I find it's like, wouldn't this be kind of hard to land tricks with sometimes? And again, with the Socius, you can see it's wider and the diameter is smaller. And so you can call this a bimetal radius, but you can just as easily call it a bimetal berserker. Because nowadays, honestly, with C3 isn't a company that's super creative with their shapes. They found a few profiles that works for them, and they just kind of make the same thing over and over again, which is perfectly fine. Whatever works for them. And I do enjoy their yo-yos, and they do feel different, even though they have similar profile. Now, how does the Socius feel different? Well, first of all, you can see they come with blasted, kind of sandblasted stainless steel rims. And that's kind of, I'm not even sure why more yo-yos don't do that. Now, I know some people don't prefer this kind of faded matte look, but in a competition, when you're playing with a bimetal yo-yo where the the steel weight rings are like just raw, and when you accidentally kind of scrape it, the yo-yo loses a lot of momentum. I feel like that can be quite a detriment on the competition stage. So I'm not sure why more yo-yos don't do that, but definitely you can feel a huge difference with this yo-yo when it comes to just, again, bumping into it mid-trick. It wouldn't just fly off. And also, if you're into grinds, this is much better than pretty much any other raw bimetal yo-yo that I know of. And if you look closely at the design, I guess I'll unscrew it because this is kind of standard. The standard C3 design with, I changed the pad, by the way. I changed it to a pink, I believe, yo-yo recreation pad. But the wall, you can see, there's the, what's it called? They left this part untouched, and this part is blasted. This is kind of the standard practice for C3. As you can see, everything else is fairly standard. Now, the shape feels kind of organic, and Shion Araya did state that he wants this yo-yo to feel almost like a mono-metal. Hence, I believe that's part of the reason why they went with a wider weight ring for a more even weight distribution. And I have to say, on the string, it definitely feels less bimetal than some of the more extreme designs, and it almost feels sluggish for some reason, because I was surprised on my first throw, because I expected Shion Araya, of all people, I expected his yo-yo to be fast, but this is not that fast. Because, you know, with a lot of yo-yos, like, for example, the Dropner, for example, the Hummingbird, it's like, you play with them, you feel like there's no limit when it comes to how fast they can go. Just as fast as you can go, they can follow. But on the other hand, there are yo-yos that kind of have what I call a soft speed cap, meaning there's a speed at which you feel comfortable playing with it. I'm showing it to you right now. This is approximately how fast it is for the Socius to feel natural and comfortable on the string. Any faster? Sure, you can go faster, but you will have to put in some effort. Now that's interesting because if you watch Shion Araya's freestyles, you'll notice that he puts a lot of force into his tricks, man. He turns it into like a cardio workout. And it's a cool style, but for most people, especially the more casual throwers, we're probably not going to do that every day. So at first, I felt like the yo-yo was definitely sluggish if I wanted to pick up speed. Now, if I compare this to, for example, the Berserker Max, which is another bimetal option with similar profile, the Berserker Max definitely also has this soft cap, but it's much higher, much faster than the Socius. So at first, I much preferred the Berserker Max to the Socius. But for the sake of this review, I had to keep going. I kept playing with this for a while, and eventually it began to kind of grow on me because, you know, there's no norm when it comes to how fast or how slow a yo-yo should be. You get used to it, and you either speed up or slow down based on that norm. And that's what I did with the Socius. I realized, okay, I need to put more effort into my tricks. Sure, it's so be it. I mean, it's not like the yo-yoing is some kind of resistance training where I push myself to the limit. No, I just have to push and reach the speed that I'm comfortable at. And when I do, I find that it's really fun to play with, but more importantly, the sluggish feeling isn't just a drawback. It comes in exchange. It comes with the benefit that this yo-yo is extremely stable, and it spins for so long. I think it's probably the second longest C3 yo-yo I have now. I have about I'd say about 10 to 12 bimetals. Yeah, the second longest. Now the first one being the Galaxy Diver. Now this is in its own league, so I will talk about this later, but in a later review. But for now, the Socius is impressive for yo-yo like this to reach not quite the Galaxy Diver level, but to reach such a level, especially with the more demanding tricks and tricks that are more aggressive on the yo-yo, specifically horizontal tricks, because I'm not an expert at horizontal, and when I do my crappy sloppy tricks, the yo-yo just stays there waiting for me to give me whatever time I need to finish my maneuvers. And that was a feeling I'm not used to, because I'm used to the yo-yo dying on me preemptively. But with this yo-yo, it opened a new door for me when it comes to horizontal, because I get time, which is a bit of a luxury when the yo-yo is kind of 75 degrees tilted, right? Now, so when it comes to performance, it does take some getting used to. But once you're used to the momentum, to the feel of this yo-yo, I think you will find it to be quite nice to play with. And for some reason, I don't feel like this yo-yo, I consider this to be a competitive throw, even though it's completely capable of everything. Because the weight, the shape, just the way it feels almost like a casual throw, you know, because I feel like if I just let the yo-yo dictate my speed and my flow, I would go for a more slower, smooth, and more flowy play style, which is also quite fun if you're into that. So when it comes to performance, that's how I have. But I do have one, I guess, maybe question, maybe criticism when it comes to this yo-yo, and that's the price. This yo-yo is priced at a whopping $145 US. Now that's really high. Now I know C3 kind of labels themselves as a more premium brand. Like they price a lot of their yo-yos, I guess, on average higher than Yo-Yo Factory, higher than CLYW, only lower than Yo-Yo Recreation, as far as I know. $145. Now that's fine, but another issue is that it's like I can't really see why. I can't see the justification behind that price tag, aside from the Shion Araya signature. Because, for example, if you look at the Berserker Max, no, this is the Speedaholic Max. This is $99. This is $145. And I don't see the difference. Why? When it comes to design, when it comes to material used, like this one seems more difficult to machine. It seems to use more material. And the only I guess bonus here is the blasted weight ring, which again I can't imagine that being costly to do. And it doesn't come with anything else special to justify this price tag, aside from this little signature here, which is beautiful, to be fair. But for example, if you talk about a company like Yo-Yo Factory, you know, when they were milking the Evan Nagal hype with the Edge Beyond, sure, they released a bimetal for $150, but it came with, you know, things like the NSK bearing, the titanium axle, and all that, which, again, they don't add up to 150, not even close, but they give you a more premium feel. Meanwhile, C3 just doesn't even bother helping you justify it. Just be like, okay, that's the price. Take it or leave it. And people took it. This yo-yo sold out within, I don't know, a few days in Japan, and even in America on Yo-Yo Expert is out of stock. So I guess, yeah, I guess that's a reasonable price, you know, supply and demand. But honestly, for that price, you can get 2 yo-yos just as capable as this one. For example, let's see. Yeah, like the Duncan Grasshopper GTX is an amazing yo-yo for $80. And then you can, for the remaining 65, you can buy like a Yo-Yo Factory bimetal or something by Magic Yo-Yo, and you can have 2 yo-yos that are super good for the price of 1. So yeah, if you really like C3, really like Shion Araya, and you like the design, sure, you can kind of splurge for this yo-yo, but when it comes to value, it is not the best, I'd say. But I got it because I love C3 and I love how they look. Now this yo-yo comes with 3 colorways. They're all kind of faded, except for this one. This one is kind of a shinier blue and purple. Now the other 2, I believe, is green and gold, and then, no, green and silver, and purple and gold. Now they're all faded kind of to fit to suit the look of the weight rings. And I think they look nice. Not quite as good as some of the more beautiful C3s out there, but I think in terms of logo design, in terms of colorway, they're super consistent. They're one of the best in the industry. So I think that's all I got for today. Oh no, do I recommend this yo-yo? I'd say for this price, maybe. Like you need to, again, paying $145, you're not getting 150% the performance. Sure, it's one of the best yo-yos in my C3 collection, in all of my collection actually, but yeah, I'd say it's recommended if you really like C3, you like Shion Araya, and you want to get the newest, hottest throw. That's all for today. Thank you for watching. Bye.